All right, let me go ahead, get into it here. We got a pretty slow start here. I will say, if you try to jump out of here, there is an invisible ceiling until you talk to Krista.
Would you like to know what that's called on the back end of the game?
Please.
It's called the Shut Up and Learn box.
Well, I learned. I absolutely did. You know what's a great thing though? I don't know what the genesis of it was, but I love being able to get 50 tickets at once. It's so good. I always get 50 tickets. It's just good. It's effective.
It's thinking through the consequences of a world run by dogs. Dogs don't care about whether or not you can afford a given ticket. They just want to help.
Right. Now, of course, we got to pick up some things for the future. The interesting thing about this run, from the perspective of randomness, is that we can kind of stockpile some things for the future. All right. Well, we got to have a talk about. Oh wait, did I pick up 2 of those? That's an accident. So anyway, if you take a drink and then switch off, you get the effect, but the soda isn't consumed.
Interesting. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was known, but that's an important one. It was actually funny. Burnt, who we mentioned earlier, is the first one on the leaderboard. He figured out that if you drank and then threw it, you would be fine. And I was like, what if you just switched off? Oh, it still works. We still got the soda. So that was pretty convenient, as it turned out.
Interesting. Oh, so is this?
Yeah, that guy's. These ones are always fixed, so we always just go B1 and take the cabinet, because the other one's a passport dog, and passport dog is our enemy. We do not trust the passport dog.
Passport dog requires a random object. He cannot be trusted. He is a man of sin.
That's correct. All right. I have a sheet of paper here that has the Beachwell gates and the Uranus gates, because I can never remember where they are. But anyway, let's grab some Mariana Trench tickets. The nice thing about Beachwell, of course, is that really our biggest objective the first time we're here is just to think about what's the soonest, because we don't have our friend the comfy chair yet. The comfy chair is the most valuable item in the game, but we can't get to it just yet. So we got to go. Oh,
you could argue it's the most valuable item in a life.
It's true. No,
and
I agree.
Support that.
Yeah, no, it's vital. When you come to Beachwell the first time, we like to try and grab a lot of stuff to sort of bet against the future. Now, of course, the most essential thing that we're going to grab, if it spawns, there we go. I'm going to grab another salami, is, of course, this buddy here, which we can drink and then make our way over here. We need umbrellas. Umbrellas are really important. Hello. I always click that second text that says I think I'm good, because I think that means I want an umbrella. I've been playing this game for so long. All right. Umbrellas are useful for logistical reasons, but they're also useful. I actually only discovered yesterday that they're fashion. I didn't realize umbrellas are fashion. So I was practicing yesterday and I couldn't find I can find a big coffee, but I couldn't find shoes where I was. I forget where I was, but I was able to find that. Oh no, that's shoes. Sometimes a bed shop spawns there, and that's very useful. We want a magical item, especially. I love to pick up the things that are, not consumable. Those are always great to pick up. I mean, I pick up some of the consumable ones as well, but things like the magic items, either the wand or the bed. I guess I'll get another container. This is definitely like I could see what's nice about this run is that it's about 20 minutes, and it is like just.
It seems like a lot of it is preparation.
Yes, it is. It's like, what bets are you willing to make? what do you think you're going to need? And good luck with that. Think about how that's going to go for you. I am left clicking and hitting enter at the same time. I find this is the fastest for text mashing. What was the ticket I picked up? So I call all these characters by just English characters. A3 is by the castle.
All this text can be translated, so you did correctly get the cipher. That is A3.
Oh, that is A3. Okay, so I wasn't sure. I know you can fix. No, where am I going? I need to go this way. I know you can fix the cipher, or like fully suss it out. But I've never actually. I actually do that. All right, so see, this is the thing. This is the thing I kept kicking myself for doing yesterday. which is that really when I'm shopping and I know I have a ticket that isn't yet at the time, the best thing to do here is still to use the time advancement. Wait, what was? Yeah, okay, so we're just gonna use the time advancement. This is kind of like this, especially this first trip to Beachwell is like a real. How close is your your ticket to leaving? I mean, ideally, sometimes you can get if you get the bed here and like you have more than 5 hours, like that'll help you get closer. But otherwise, you're just kind of time zone. And then like, ideally, I would have used the time zone while I was still over here, as opposed to going all the way back. But the umbrella is like the most important thing to get out of here, because obviously sometimes we're also going to get stuff. Oh, that's. Oh, I was like thinking I forgot something I usually get, and of course, I didn't go to the doctor. Yeah, this one.
It's free.
Yeah, I mean, it's God. Wouldn't that be great? Maybe the dogs know what's going on.
It's interesting. I never considered it from this angle, but one thing that I am realizing is because this game has a lot of conversational branches, so much unique dialogue. Even for any individual character, a big part of a speedrun would also be choosing what dialogue branch you.
I definitely messed up because I messed up talking to Cabinet Dog earlier. 100%. I chose the wrong option, but yeah. But yes.
For some of the plain dogs, especially, like you'll run into something much higher. So I'm wondering how much like knowledge you have to keep in your head to do an effective speedrun of this.
I would say I generally don't focus too much on the plain dogs. Like I know from the truth is that it does matter. But actually no. Wait, what time is it now? Okay, we'll do that. So anyway, it does matter, but I would say the sad news is that there's not been yet enough routing attention to this game that that we have like optimized it to that point. But I think you're right that it absolutely would be a thing to optimize. Wait, where's that? Yeah, let me do that again. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I didn't fall in. So if you're quick about this, you can get it over with one twirl of the umbrella. But anyway, so you can use the tall boy, the Red Bull, Scarlet Bovine, and the umbrella to just jump the terminal, never take the bus, the tram. So that's a fun thing. I remember when this game was initially out, there was a lot of excitement because I think it was Author Blues.
Yes.
Got behind the waterfall or the lava fall, and which is cool. And so that is neat.
Author Blues started doing some routing for
I think it was all dogs
run.
All dogs, yeah. And I'm waiting. 90 minutes. Can you do 90 minutes, speedrunner? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you can play also this entire game in real time. So something I've talked a little bit about on Twitter is I am actively waiting for the real-time speedrun of Dog Airport game.
And of course, that's a seeker, so we give him what he wants, magic, and then we board the plane with our cabinet.
Because of how there was originally on the development side a decision of whether for any given character you have to for any character that needs to have an effect applied to them, such as seeker, whether or not you would have to talk to them before applying the thing, and yeah, because of the decision we ended up making, which is if you've already applied the effect and you know what the dog needs, you can just go on through. Those are the fastest type of dog to interact with for this, I guess.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. What do I... Elf Planet is one I'm really bad at. I always forget where things are. I'm just going to grab these two. So anyway, now, at this point, Krista has told you maybe go talk to Cage Dog in Pattsville, but that is not actually required, and it is much more productive to come to Elf Planet and talk to... for some reason, my brain thinks this dog is named Comfy Joe. It is just named Comfy Dog. I don't know why I insist on thinking of him as Comfy Joe, but that is how I do it. And then we want to hopefully get a ticket to... Oh, no, that's right. I'm just passing through this time. No, do I remember... No, I totally messed this up. Are there really no bees down here? I always do this. Elf Planet is like the next one I need to memorize. And, no, B1 is down here. Haha. Okay, we're good. All right, I didn't imagine it. Okay, what do you need from me? All right, good. See, this is... I was like, let me pick up multiple sausages. Is this the meat thing you wanted? Dog would say yes to anything. Literally anything.
Yeah, he has very little scruples.
All right, so that was kind of the big thing, I think, is the jump there. Of course, going to Elf Planet to get the chair. The chair makes our life way easier from now on. And pretty much the same routine here. Every time we come here, we just want to get like it's a little less big of a deal now, but if we still see one that is closer, that just means, of course, less times we'll have to flip.
So you're going back to Elf Planet?
Yeah, so now we need to talk to, I think Krista is here, right? Am I?
It will be in your pepper decks if...
Oh, yeah. See, this is me doing too many things at once. No, she's... I can't believe I'm forgetting this. Yeah, okay, she is here. Why am I... I'm thinking she's supposed to be by the vending machines. Oh, no, she is! I thought I was looking at the vending machines. I didn't see her. But no, she's 100% by the vending machines. Okay, we're good. That is a thing I totally do when I'm running this game, is just forget where Krista is and like progress to the next area without actually talking to her, which of course is usually a sign that I need to reset. All right, so this is by the straight path. At this point, we still don't have a bed, which is not great. Teleporting, very useful feature in this game.
Yes, that was
ways.
We knew that we wanted to do some wild movement mechanics, and we didn't want to have to figure out bounding boxes for literally everything. We knew even that would go wrong, so we were like, here's the get out of jail free card button. I noticed that Forza Horizon has the same thing.
Oh, there you go.
Position of car. Following in the footsteps of masters, apparently.
That's just how it is. I really enjoyed, and I know it was an earnest and sincere message, but also the fact that an airport for aliens currently run by dogs is truly a next generation game. Was something that I did take to heart and appreciate.
Yeah, it is. I talked earlier about wanting to enable people to deal with interesting consequences. Putting this game on a non-next gen console would immediately raise some interesting issues in terms of, you know, someone wants to make 5,000 boarding passes. I want to give them that ability, but also there's only so much RAM. There's only so much CPU power you have. Mm-hmm. We needed all the power of the Xbox Series X to turn it out, which is something I find endlessly hilarious.
See, I'm glad I got 2 umbrellas, because it turns out I needed both of them. Prepper dog, always here to ruin my day. I need that umbrella for later in the game. It's okay. We'll get another one. All right, so we talked to Krista at the bottom there. Now we're going back to Marinara Trench on our way to Pattsville. That's right. Usually here, I really want, at this point, since I have the chair, I always want one of the B gates, since they're right behind me. But I don't think I'm getting a Pattsville. Yeah, no Pattsville Bs. So probably just grab the A2 then. I did see an A2, yeah. Okay. Right. So this is not one where she's here, so we just need to leave. Oh, did I drink the tall boy accidentally? Oh, that's it. Okay. Well, that's mortifying. Well, I guess we need to go to the vending machine and we need to get an umbrella, since we're not getting across without either. Cool. I love it when things bounce into other things like that. That's satisfying for me when the umbrella does that. Satisfying when the coffee does that.
It's a very Source engine kind of interaction.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Anyway, grab that. Don't drink it this time. Umbrella. Let me get the...
The most interesting part of this for me as a developer is just seeing like all of the micro decisions we made, often not with speedrunning in mind at all, how that gets used by someone to do something interesting.
Oh, no,
like this is fascinating stuff.
I thought it's been so long. I wanted to do that to highlight the water thing. The water thing doesn't actually stop you. I thought it did. See, that's exactly how unfamiliar I am with the water.
Inside the water if you wanted to stop yourself.
Oh, what's up? Oh, that's right. I could jump, right? What?
Yes, because you're inside of water, you can just
I can swim.
bob.
Yeah, right, exactly, like you do in the pool. Yeah, okay. Well, that is my executioner. Anyway, we're over here now. We'll go over to gate A2. I also really loved the what was it? People would find a way to fix the filter. They wouldn't just play this way. Was that you communicated something to that extent, I think.
Yeah, so originally it made you sick for about 10 minutes, and we were like, obviously, no one would just play through the game like that. They would seek out ways to resolve this. No.
I accidentally drank the big coffee.
We've all been there.
I know. It's really true, though. Do I remember where this is? A3 is right there. That's A1, A4. Uh-oh. No, please. That's too late. The air control in this game, I know you added more air control in that big mega patch, which I do appreciate a lot. But like, what affects air control? It's very strange to me, like when things do and do not work. It seems like being able to go faster means you have more air control, but I don't know if I'm just imagining that or if that's really the case.
I think that there's things that affect the weird thing is there's a difference between air friction and air control.
Okay. So it could be
what you're feeling is the distance between, like, sometimes air friction is affected by air control, sometimes it's air control that's being affected based off of the specific thing that's hurtling through the air or across the ground or what have you. So that's what you're understanding right now.
Okay. All right. Well, I picked up other boarding passes because apparently I don't remember where I'm going. No, here we go. Okay. I remember, I don't know if this happens anymore, but one time I got to Phobos the second time, and there were no all right, there were no flights to Marinara Trench out of Phobos, which was mystifying. That was a real experience. I was like, wait a second. All the boarding tickets you're giving me are blank and they're on fire. What does this mean?
Yeah, you can. That was actually a decision point at one point, including like the comfy bed being something that can resolve sick, like whether or not it was unexpectedly contentious of like, because we're adults with different relationships to sleep. Does a good sleep actually resolve anything? Should it actually relieve your sickness, or does it actually leave you there in the hell pit? That was an unexpectedly contentious conversation during development. The comfy chair in the bed originally did not cure sickness, which we relented on.
Wait, was that something that was true by the time it launched, or was that something that changed in the mega patch? I forget.
I do not fully remember.
Okay.
I know the Mega Patch did add Fashion Dog, who originally was not in the game. He was in the files of the game, but just was sitting there unactivated. He had been totally written in everything.
Huh. Oh, there you go. All right. Pattsville. Oh, come on. Are we not getting... This is another one of those places where I have, like, certain boarding passes that I want to see, and then ones that I'm like... I don't even want to think about it. Is it A3? I think. All right, I'm gonna grab both of these in case, because the ones I don't want to be in the tower. No one. I do not want to deal with the Tower of Hanoi.
Tell me more about that tower and the troubles it has given you.
So, I mean, basically the answer is, and this might be a case where I was scarred, especially because, you know, I did my initial routing of this game before the air vents happened, before the drafts came up out of the which does make it somewhat easier to traverse the tower. But the thing that I always find frustrating is whether or not the gate is like the particular gate I'm looking for. And this, of course, this would be solved by me actually just doing the labor of memorizing where things are. But that the particular gate I'm looking for, oh, that's 2B and B3. Okay. You know, would it actually be in those areas? Because I think, I mean, if I go in here and I just do this, you know, this will be able to get me up really farther than I want to go. This was gonna happen anyway in Elf Planet, so you know, we can enjoy the scenery of Pattsville, which I once crashed through a wall to get to.
I'm just hearing Ave Maria.
Oh no, I went too. See, there you go. I went too fast, and I ascended. But that's okay. A2 is right here. So I just crashed through 3 levels of the gate. No problem. It is okay. We just need the chair once. But of course, will I have what the gate dog needs? The real question. One more time.
Yeah, that was a desire too. I'm all for storytelling based games, but what I find particularly gratifying as a developer and as a player is games that can function and be played in several ways. And in most cases, like a storytelling game, especially if it doesn't let you like jump, only functions in a single way. So getting something that was accessible, like an adventure game, but also had these unexpectedly deep systems with the actual simulated setup of flights coming and going, different dogs needing different things at your gate, things to add variety to the playthrough to make so that it wasn't just, you know, a goofy adventure game starring dogs. That certainly made the game more fun to develop, and as you can see, it makes for a more interesting speedrun as well.
Yeah, that's, you know, when people ask me about my opinion of this game, you know, when it comes to, I guess, you know, I'm gonna borrow what you were saying, the sort of like adventure game aspect of it. I'm like, look, you can watch, you know, a trailer or a video, and you're probably going to know from looking at that, you know, to what extent will the aesthetic or the humor be your speed. Like I can't do that for you. But what might be useful is, yeah, I'll just stay here. What might be useful is that, actually, the other one's sooner. That might be useful because if I have something, if I really don't want to deal with the dog at the other gate, that might be better. But what I don't think will necessarily be readily apparent from watching a trailer of the game is the ability, especially for the effects, to stack. That really took me by surprise. Once I realized the effects could stack, that was kind of like the key moment where I was like, oh, maybe I can speedrun this game and things will happen. You know, and I say things, I mean is that you'll jump from one terminal to another, right? Like that's fun and interesting. And I mean, probably expected, but like still cool to do. Like sometimes you do things in games that are intended, but you know, it's still someone who played the game didn't think to do. You know, like, and it's still cool to show off. It's a feature of the game, but you know, it's still there. And so I was definitely happy to. Oh, okay. Well, you know what happened to me last night? I was doing practice attempts and I accidentally chaired one too many times. And what happened?
Did you chair one too many times again?
No, I'm fine. We're good. It's 2009. We're fine. Oh, it's Reverse Bribe Dog, the hero of the people. Boy throws me a bone.
There you go. Yeah, he is the peak RNG hero of any speedrun for this game.
He is, absolutely.
But like, yeah, even when you talk about like stacking effects, one thing I'm very proud of is also how it replicates the actual experience of traveling. So one big thing that everyone on the team prioritized and that I was pushing for from basically all the design steps, even at the beginning, was one of the fascinating things about airports is the fact that depending on your goal in an airport, your relationship to it entirely changes. A lot of game spaces are built for you to find the content, do the content, and then leave.
Yes.
The airport is built for you, but also in contrast to you, it is built for every traveler, regardless of whether or not you want to go to Pattsville. The comings and goings in the departure board are built regardless of your presence in the world. And I'm talking about real airports in this instance. So having the ability so that different players can have meaningfully different experiences in playthroughs, even if they're finding the same like quests. That's something I'm really proud of in terms of it's a huge struggle to make a game work for a bunch of people. To have a game that can exist beyond a single stream, and sometimes it's due to the game you're making, that isn't possible. So having a game that does adapt to a bunch of different approaches, a bunch of different play styles, and even if you see it on a stream, your experience with it is probably going to be unique, and you're going to be dealing with unique situations and challenges that might be like others, but are uniquely your own, is something that I'm really into, and especially when people like learn the language and whatever else. We were even seeing at the earliest stages of development, because we live developed by Patreon and we're putting up work in progress builds over there. People who had been in an airport before were navigating in a fundamentally different way than a new player. Like someone who's been through O'Hare 7 times and is like, yeah, I don't need to go through this concourse. I'll just head here, and there's actually a beef place I really like down the way. Having people be able to get used to a space, use a space, is everything I hoped for from this game. So as much as people really, really like the story and the characters of the dogs and everything else, and I'm so thankful for and proud of the reception that it received, the thing that makes me most satisfied as a developer coming away from it is the degree to which it works as like a design piece for doing a game that's focused, but also incredibly large. This is a big ol' people put 20 plus hours into this game kind of game. And we made it in a year and a half. With very, very little crunch. Like that's rad.
That's good to hear. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you're like live hacking my game, but we've had like 4 fashion dogs. I'm glad I keep picking up umbrellas, but it's kind of weird. I don't know what's going on there. It's unusual.
If I could live hack the game, that would violate GDPR,
yeah,
but that would be really cool.
Would probably be questionable. It would be cool though. You know, it'd be kind of neat.
That would be cool. That would be also like a cool headline, like Dog Airport game includes firmware rootkit.
Yeah, just don't worry. You know, it's security. All right. This is one I always mess up. I'm like, where is Krista? Oh yeah, she's in the record store.
Yeah, making sure that the record store, because as you might have noticed, there are fixed locations in every airport, but also a lot of it is much like a real airport, shifting and changing between. Yes, Cluster Truck did actually allow the developers to. I saw a comment from Dave Flower. Cluster Truck does have a thing that allows the developers to just pop into your game. And that was happening, and that's really cool. But what was I saying?
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, I was talking about airport generation.
Yes.
So the airport layouts remain consistent in terms of their floor plan, but what fits into given spaces changes. Shops will close down, other shops will open up, shops will change position around you. I had a Schlotsky, a Quiznos that I really liked in my local airport in El Paso, Texas. It was replaced by Schlotsky Cinnabon. The same people worked there because it's still a sandwich shop. But because I arrived there at 3 a.m. on the way to my next flight, I literally walked back and forth end to end of this airport twice, looking for the Quiznos. And I walked up bleary eyed, just like, what was this a Quiznos before?
Is this a Quiznos? Famous words.
So, yeah, also having airports that rearrange themselves and how that can affect a speedrun is a really interesting thing to see from a randomization perspective.
Yeah, it's been really, as I said before, it's like a nice, I don't think I've ever speedrun a game that was this random. And normally I don't think that would be my kind of thing. But here I feel like, and I think you are right that it captures, it does capture some of the essentials, the experience of air travel, where you're trying to, like, I had a speedrunning experience where I went to European Speedrunner Assembly in 2017, and that was the first time I had ever traveled somewhere where the not all the signage was in English always. Sometimes signs are in Swedish. Perfectly reasonable. I was in Sweden. Makes sense. But but enough was still, I got around fine. It was not a problem. But it was interesting just to be like, yeah, okay. So I gotta, deal with the. I mean, the airport was less of an issue, but certainly like the train service and stuff like that. Sometimes I think I missed the C1 gate. Anyway, but yeah, it is interesting in the way that I think it does capture that experience.
We also do have, and this might play a part in some reactions, but we do on purpose have some evil signage. Like the signage it never lies, but it doesn't tell you the complete and perfect truth, and there's not as many as there should be. And this probably reflects some of my own traumas around.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I feel a little bad about Lovesick Dog and Administrator Dog, who I always just walk up to, and I'm like, I know who you are, Chuck. I just throw that can right at him every time. I'm like, look, I'm trying to help you. This will be good for you, please. I'm happy to see them. I usually have, either a tall can of soda or a Scarlet Bovine. So, I appreciate it, really. All right. I am okay. I was like, where am I going next? I know where I'm going next.
Are you going to the top of this?
Well, now, yeah. We're going to get a ticket, and then I'm going to go to the top, which is always, this is always an experience, doing this. How do I...
Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah. Ultimately, this is still the thing that, okay, like, let's see. Sometimes when I do this, it kind of like, oh yeah, I start getting like pulled back the other direction. Like, see right now, I'm going the other direction. I don't know what that, I guess it's maybe you talked about me. You're more familiar with the details than I am.
No, I was just thinking, like, did it like almost reverse your polarity?
Yeah,
I have no idea what
it starts
there.
at the top of the jump, yeah. And especially, it happens right after I lose the effect of the Scarlet Bovine. Like, it's like, boom, boom, the filter comes on, then I start getting pulled in the opposite direction of where I was before. I don't know, yeah, I did want to mention one glitch, and if you're curious to see what it actually looks like, I can send you the timestamp footage. But the glitch was, I chaired one too many times. I was just starting to tell that story, and I think I forgot to continue it. I chaired one too many times, and when I chaired the one too many times, I was able to give my boarding pass to one of the dogs. No, this is not. Oh, this is C2's upstairs, isn't it? I was able to give my boarding pass to one of the dogs. And but I didn't, of course, it was past the time, right? So right after that, they turned into pumpkins, and I was not able to actually get on one of the flights. And so I was like, crap, I messed up. I got to use a different airplane. So I went about my business looking for a different flight, and this is me actively not remembering which terminals were. And so, but as I was walking past that terminal, because it was the A1 terminal at Pattsville. And so I was like, that's like right there. So I was walking past it, and I walked past it again, and I noticed that the boarding pass dog, like a new flight, a new departure had appeared there, and and I was like, oh, the boarding pass dog is still green, But I literally gave the boarding pass dog a flaming ticket. And then he disappeared, because, again, it was past the flight time.
Interesting.
Anyway, it did not take me to my intended destination. It took me to Uranus, and and then I reset because I was like, well, that's not where I wanted to go. So, but it was very funny. I was like, oh, that's unusual. Again, obviously, you have to be like intentionally speeding up, doing it too many times, then catching yourself, and but it was funny.
It's also like a really cool example, and like, unlike film, where you can control all those little variables, games are built out of sticks and magic.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I hear or see something like that, I find that kind of stuff interesting. Like, what happened in the cogs of logic to enable that kind of result? I find that interesting, which is a very philosophical and flowery way of saying I'm not going to fix that. No one's going to fix that.
No. Oh man, some time ago I was demoing like a bug in Umurangi Generation for the developer of that game, Vaselikov, and I showed him something where you could go into a zoom mode and then pick up a collectible, and you would just see the collectible floating in the camera's eye. And he's like, yeah, I'm leaving that in. No one's doing that. I'm fixing it. So I definitely appreciate that. All right, this is pretty much our last flight. We're just on our way to go back to Uranus one last time. I picked up an A6, which is on the straight path.
It's interesting. So in seeing an actual speed run, most of the time for typical play, especially like when it's streamed, or even like mid-level speedrun play, like casual speedrunning play, I see people get the way they search for tickets is they like pick up a lot, and it's like, okay, and then their inventory gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but I'm seeing like very careful inventory management in contrast to that, and it's really interesting to view like what you prioritize, what things you get doubles of, because most people just end up with like hundreds.
Yeah, when I first casually played this game, I was like, will you keep giving me tickets? And of course the answer is yes. The ticket dog will keep giving me tickets. And I ended up with several hundred tickets in my inventory. And then, I promptly never did that again because I had learned my lesson. So
that's the thing. Like, why tell the player they can't do a thing when they could learn a lesson instead? If your computer sets itself on fire, you aren't going to do that again.
No, you punched your ticket one way or another.
Did you notice that there are 4 different there's 4 different airline brands in game, and each airline environment has a different soundtrack?
Oh, I don't think I noticed that, actually. No.
That's why sometimes the colors will be different inside of the airplane.
I drank my Red Bull. That's a shame.
For legal purposes, we have to call Scarlet Bovine.
Scarlet Bovine, sorry.
The reason Scarlet Bovine is in there, actually, is the very first time we showed in person, which was shortly before that was no longer possible because of the dark times. Mm-hmm. It was at the PAX Together booth at PAX South. And that was sponsored, enabled by Red Bull. So as a thank you to them, as an homage, and also to kind of cheekily be like, hey, we'll put the actual thing in there if you give us money. We'll put a billboard, we'll give you an airport, like, let's do some branding here.
Like Mountain Dew and Jet Moto. Bring it back,
Absolutely. They didn't end up going for that, so now Scarlet Bovine is a cursed eldritch entity, which is legally distinct from Red Bull.
Of course.
So with that said, I'm not going to fix that gate that gate glitch. But if anyone from Red Bull is watching this, you can still I will rename the airport to Red Bull Airport. We'll put your branding across there. I can be bought. That is the message of today.
Absolutely. Well, if we're going to take anything away, 100%, I don't know. I feel weird saying that, in my perspective as like I guess the streamer. But sure, you know what? Why not? I'll do it. Oh, we got Bart here too. Bart, of course, in chat is the current world record holder for Dog Airport game.
Congratulations
very good
and thank you.
speedrun. So shout outs to Bart. The other one, Makebake, would also probably be here, but I think one of our friends was actually in a SGDQ run while we were recording this, and so I understand, some folks are probably checking that out. Hopefully that went well. But I think that's
Speaking
pretty much...
of-
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, speaking of yellow puke, Lone Magi, the first time I drank Red Bull, it was at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. in Poland. I did not sleep, and I ended up hunting a man in a Polish hotel. More to be told of that story in the next stream, but Red Bull will give you a spirit of vengeance, and you will hunt men.
Excellent. Yeah,
Red Bull will make your enemies wish that they had wings to get away from you.
I don't know if you ever went to LAN parties much, but I can remember going to LAN parties in an era where Red Bull would always send some conventionally attractive women to hand out a free Red Bull to everyone in attendance at the LAN party. I remember I experienced this a number of times in the 2000s, and I would thank them and have a Red Bull and never buy Red Bull otherwise. But I definitely in my mind put Red Bull in the same place as like Balls, the blue soda, the BAWLZ was like another LAN party staple.
I've never experienced Balls.
Okay.
That's new to me.
Okay. Well, it might still be around maybe, but I don't know. It's weird. All right.